Hello. Hanging out on Friday. I'm better now. I did my cold water thing and my calm yourself down thing. Hey Ken, how are you? I saw you on the panel earlier. I was on that panel too. And somebody really pushed my buttons and I'm I'm better now. It's less the rage stream, it's more like the irritation stream. But there are things I want to talk about, like particularly the way autism is handled on these panels. I had stopped going on panels for a while because of apparently my autism was causing problems for people's panels, and so like I don't like to be anywhere where I'm not wanted or where it feels like I'm a nuisance or disruptive or a problem child. I have a whole lifetime of being somehow in that role. And it's not me putting myself in that role. It's other people, the way their life and world is arranged that kind of has me in that role because it doesn't match their norms and expectations. And I spent my whole life very, very carefully trying to find that little narrow lane where I am helpful, useful, not like a strength, an asset, not a liability, where I'm doing something constructive and good. And when I feel like I'm veering out of that, and all of a sudden I'm the problem, I'm very, 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 very sensitive to that. And it's let me get back in my lane. And like I was kind of like relaxed tonight. It was a Friday. I had watched a couple of other panels, and it's way earlier than I realized. It feels like 10 or 11 at night to my body. And I keep looking at the clock. It was like 7 o'clock. And I said, damn. So I decided to just do my own stream. Like that's the only way that I can guarantee that the autism at least is not going to be an issue, or that if it becomes an issue, I know what to do with it. I know how to manage it or control it. I get emotion policed. That's what happened tonight. I got emotion policed. I was told I was getting too worked up. Worked up too for whom? Not too worked up for me. I'm just getting started. I can go higher. Like my emotions get really intense. I have big, deep emotions. That's common with my neurotype. It was normal as a kid. I don't come from a culture that stigmatizes emotions, so kids are free to have, like Cajuns are very passionate, emotional people to begin with, and we're free to have whatever emotions we have. Like nobody complains or says stop having that emotion or there's too much of it or something. So all of that's foreign to me. I wasn't raised around it, and so if my emotions are disruptive, then you have to decide your comfort level and remove yourself from the situation. I'm not going to change my level of how I feel something because somebody else has a problem with it. That's just not how I work. And I wouldn't ask that of somebody else. And so that's one thing. We get tone police. Today, what really pissed me off, I got told I was dishonest. I had told a story before about the last job I got fired from. And right before COVID, 3 days before we went on lockdown. And I talked about it on the stream, I don't know, a week or two ago. And they wanted to hear the story on the stream tonight. So I tried to tell it, and there was a girl there. I had never met her before in my life. I don't know who she is. I don't think she'd ever met me. She was real suspicious, and she's like, she latched onto the rocking and the deer antlers, which I rocked and wore the deer antlers at the job. And I was hired at the job specifically because of the autism, because it was a job working with autistic and neurodivergent people. So none of that was an issue, but she latched onto that and tried to like see, like make sure that wasn't the reason I got fired. And so she said something like, I'm not buying it, or I don't believe Jeff was completely didn't have anything to do with it, or is not telling the story straight, or something like that. So I asked her, I said, do you think that I'm not telling the complete story, that like what I'm saying? Because what happened was a coworker filed a complaint and I was never allowed to see the complaint. I have no, to this day, and I tried. I filed a civil rights complaint and everything. I tried to get the complaint because I used to be an ombuds. I spent several years dealing with complaints from other people. I know how to handle complaints. I know how to do grievances. I know how to do advocacy. I know the processes. I know all the strategies for it. I know the best practices, way to handle them, and all that stuff. So one thing I know for sure, if somebody files a complaint on you, you're entitled to see the complaint, and they would never let me see the complaint. And so that was one of the issues from the start. And so when I found out about it was when she called me into the room and she told me about the complaint. And this was in front of like most of the office, like most of the people I work with every day. This was not a private meeting. She had most of my coworkers in that meeting for one reason or another. Like she had a reason they needed to be there. And so she told me about the complaint and I kept asking to see it. And she kept saying, no, it was an email that he sent or something. And she considered it a private email. And I said, well, you still have to let me see the complaint, like have him file a formal grievance or something that you can show me that's the complaint. And she never would. But she had this own letter that she typed up of herself. And this was all without even talking to me. This was the first time. Like she could have come to me one-on-one, everything. We had that kind of relationship. But this was the first time I was hearing about it. It was in this very formal meeting with most of the office. And she had a paper that she drew up with all these other things about me that never once had she said to me. Like I had never been written up. I never even had a performance review. I had nothing, I had no record at all. And I had been there for years. And so I was hearing all of that for the first time too. It was like the kitchen sink from the beginning of my time there until now, all the stuff, all the issues she had built up. That's why the other day when Chris had that stuff built up and Lib had that stuff built up, it was such a concern for me because I had already been through it before. And I had no idea she had all of this stuff built up. And the stuff had nothing to do with the coworkers' complaint because they were all before the time that he made the complaint, and they were stuff that she herself had towards me. And so this girl came to the conclusion for some reason that because I knew that it had nothing to do with his complaint, even though I had not seen his complaint, that I must know what his complaint is to know that her stuff had nothing to do with it. Therefore, I was lying. And so she kept accusing me of being dishonest and somehow tying the autism into it. And then I got defensive and worked up about that because if you're going to come at me with some accusation, like she was making shit up in her head. And this is one of the difficulties I have with women because that seems to be what they do. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me. I'm trying to tell my story, or they're trying. I think we're having like the dialogue I would normally have when I'm getting to know someone, and they hear all kind of shit in it and start projecting or import. It's all off of vibes. Like I asked her what specifically made her think that, and she couldn't give me anything concrete. She's like, I don't know, something just didn't feel right about your story or something. And so she came at me with a bunch of bullshit. She doesn't know the first thing about me. And so I got very defensive at it, and my emotions, I got hot, and that's what's going to happen. I'm very passionate, and I'm not passive aggressive. So if you're going to come at me with some stuff that's not true, I'm going to defend myself very aggressively. And dude decided I was too worked up or whatever by his level or his standard and started to emotion police. And so this is why I find it difficult to hang out in the panelverse, and I kind of carve out this little space for myself here where I can kind of manage the neurodivergence part of it. And so that's what tonight is. Tonight is a stream where if you're frustrated, irritated, if you need a bitch, if you misunderstood, if you're dealing with bullshit, let's come talk. I am best when I can get things when they're fresh and see them in action. And this is what I'm trying to do. This just happened, and I'm trying to examine it in the moment and hopefully catch it in the making, so I can. That's how I learn. That's how I understand. I'm very process oriented, and the more I can see into a process, the more I'm going to be able to understand the issue. And people my whole life have been trying to tell me their version of their issues with me and what they think the problem is and I should do about it, et cetera, et cetera. And every time I try to like give how it looks from my end, they don't seem to be able to hear that. And that's where all this tension and conflict starts. So this space is for if you're in that situation or you're struggling with stuff like that, come up and talk about, like, this is your chance. This is the vent and bitch stream. Any kind of process. Like today, it was the communication breakdown. Well, it wasn't really a communication breakdown. It was her hearing a little bit of my story and then fabricating an entire narrative in her head about me based on the fact that I was rocking, based on the fact that I had deer horns, based on the fact that I didn't know what was in the coworker's complaint because I was never allowed to see it, but I somehow knew that my boss's complaints had nothing to do with it, et cetera, et cetera. All of that in her head started this process. And then what I think happened, because this is what usually happens in these situations when women are involved. When he said I'm too worked up, he meant for him, for his stream, for his panel. He didn't. I'm not too worked up for me. I'm the only one that gets to determine what's too worked up for me. If it's too worked up for you, fine, I'll leave. Not a big deal. But I think not so much for him, but he was looking out for it kind of sets off that white knight. So when my emotion levels get to a certain intensity, and this is what happens in the workplace, and only up here, it's never been an issue in Louisiana. It was never an issue with Vegas. It was never an issue in the classroom, around the kids, anything like that. It's always the delicate, fragile Pacific Northwest liberal white women. So when one of them, like when my emotions get a certain level, or I'm not passive aggressive enough, because we don't do passive aggression where I come from. Everybody's direct, and it sets off a threat, like a threat alarm, and then the guys start to like identify me as the source of the distress for the women, because it's something they're not used to having to react to, because they're usually protected from that. And then I become the perpetrator, they become the victim, and the people come in and rescue in White Knight. And I think it was that drama triangle that got set off, and that's what has been set off on these streams before that has had a similar dynamic. So that kind of process, communication breakdowns, group dynamics, irrational reactions, the cognitive processes, cognitive dissonance, why people believe what they believe, all that kind of stuff, like their stories and the stuff I talk about on the stream. Oh, did I put the link? I think it should be pinned. Let me turn my banner on. So that is my motivation for doing the stream. I had intended to hang out on some panels tonight. I should have gone on blood sports where I could at least fight, and hopefully my emotion level would not be an issue there. But instead, I said it's an opportunity to capture this moment and express my side of it, since I wasn't gonna be able to do that on the stream, and look at it, maybe get other perspectives, and give other people the opportunity to like share their, like, what comes up for them, and add to the, like, the little data pool and tell their stories as well. Because this is what being weird and different, and that's what the girl kept saying. She kept saying I was weird. I'm like, I know I'm weird. I've been weird my whole life. Everybody's known that. It's never been an issue before. Somehow, even being weird, I've been able to have successful jobs, relationships, friends, etc. And coming up here, Oh, okay. We have a very special celebrity. I wish I had. Let me see if I can find a video. I need to put some video clips in here for when new people come on. I'm going to get something special for you to try to introduce you. Give me just a second. Do I have any videos? Let's try this. Here we have a special guest. Da 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 da.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy.
SpiderKen is here. What's
It's
up?
Spider-Man. What's up, beautiful people?
How are you doing? What are you doing on a Friday?
Saving people.
Saving people. Did you work today?
Yeah. You
Do
know
they
who
let you wear that when you're saving
No. You
fighting
know who
fires?
I
That
am,
would be
right?
so awesome.
You know who
I
I
do.
am?
I do. You have an update for us?
Actually, yes, I'll reveal my true self.
Scooby Doo. Wait.
Hey
Look at
people.
that. It's Ken, y'all. Although, how do you know
Sorry,
Spider-Man's
I
not
was
your
trying
true
to
self?
find my Easter bunny suit to show people on a different panel
Damn.
earlier, but I couldn't find it. I don't know where my head is, so I have found my mask.
Oh, yeah, I relate to that.
I stole this mask.
That was awesome.
I found this mask
Oh, you
outside.
stole it.
Actually, I didn't steal because I found it outside in front of someone's house.
Kind of didn't try too hard to find out who it belonged to.
Yeah, I didn't want to try it too. What's up? So I got some news. It's some great news, actually.
Oh, so to catch the viewers up, there was this kind of romantic situation that you might have found yourself in.
So I got some. If what's the name's on or she's not on.
It's the same
Yeah.
person, girl from, and
Yeah.
this is your coworker, supervisor.
It's hot in here.
Oh,
Where's Ezra?
I don't know where she is.
So I got some good news. We had yesterday I went over. So I took a shower, got dressed, got some nice flowers. They were some nice flowers with chocolate and some chocolate raisins. And
Oh,
actually I got chocolate strawberries in it too, in all in a package for like
oh,
$15. All that for $15 with flowers. And that was an extra 10 and a nice card. She cried as soon as I walked in. She was like, oh.
oh my God.
And then she's like, "That I want to have a talk with you, blah blah." So what? So we had to talk. Some talks going on. One discussion, like, cause I mentioned you remember the kids situation.
That she had.
So I'm at. So
No, that you wanted kids, and she said she
she
couldn't have
said
them.
she can't have it, and I asked her
Right.
about that. I'm like, "Why can't you?" She's like, "To be honest, I wanted to tell you at work, but wanted to can't. I couldn't because I'm on the clock." So the reason why she said that, and she told me why. She's like, "The reason why I can't have kids is she already has 2 kids, and she already tied the knots,
Oh, okay.
her knots."
She got
So
tied. Yeah.
yeah, because she don't want anymore. So I'm like,
Right.
okay,
Civil
that's
rights.
fine with.
I call it.
So that's fine with me. Actually met her some little boy last night. He was in his room playing, and she's like, "Bob, so and so, come out." So I met him, and he's so sweet. He's like
How
just
old?
3.
Yo, and you got a lot. Yo, he took to you.
Yeah, he got on the way. I'll get to finish the story, but I'll get back to what I was saying before. But on the way home, on the way to leave, he I'm starting trying not to cry. He ran to the door and gave me a big hug and was like, "Thank you for being so nice to my mama." I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
I'm
How
like,
can that? How can that not like get you?
yeah, from it's so adorable. So we
Did you
had
meet
this.
the other kid, or is he an infant?
No, she was with her father, the
So
other dude. Yeah.
okay.
So she was, and I guess she went for her father's for the day. So what happened is after I went over, she's like, "Oh, I cook for you." I'm like, "What do you mean I cook for you?" She's like, "Oh, I made some nice dinner because I knew you were coming, blah blah. I didn't know if you were hungry. I didn't want to serve it to you. I'd rather ask." Because she asked me if I was hungry while in the middle of talking. So what happened? She made me a nice steak with like, yeah, it
Dang.
was a
And
full.
this was before she knew you were coming over with flowers and chocolate
She knew
strawberries?
I was coming over, but I didn't tell her about the flower thing.
And she
But
already
I
had the steak planned?
prepared, but she never mentioned it until she asked if I'm hungry. And then she's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little, but I was gonna get food, if order food. She's like, by the way, I made food. I'm like, okay. And she came out with a full big steak with like green beans
Oh, wow.
with cheese. They were so delicious.
Did she
They
light
were-
candles?
Yeah, and I'm starting to blush. She's so. This is this gets even more romantic. So we're in the middle of talking, blah blah. She tells me how long she's been with the company, and we're discussing something. And she's like, "Oh, by the way, I just want to know the way this is during. I'm not gonna mention because some of the stuff is personal. That I don't want to mention here because without her permission. Because I
Right.
don't want to get her mad in case she's
That's
watching. Because she
that's
knows
a
my channel
very
now.
Oh,
So
she does.
yeah,
Well,
I gotta be
that's
careful.
that's gentleman of you, so
Yeah. So she's
very
like, blah blah
confidential.
blah. I just wanna. So after we talking, she's like, Bob, I was wondering if you would. I'm like, if wondering if you want to go out to get some dessert. And then we went to this place. We ended up going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Mm.
So I end up spending
Wait,
like,
wait, wait. Hang on. Let me stop you. My Encyclopedia Brown brain is going off. So you have a I thought you lived somewhere where there wasn't a lot of people, but y'all have a cheesecake factory?
yeah, because it's in the mall. It's at the mall. We have a
At the
mall
mall.
here.
So there's more people than I had imagined in my head.
Yes.
But now that may
So
all be moot if this is working out with her. So
so
go ahead.
we went to the mall, but this so and so and and she was like, oh, by the way, I was wondering if you would like to go because right now I feel like she's like, oh, next time we'll play some golf and stuff. I'm like, okay, it's not super late. Would you want to go now? I was
Dang.
trying to raise it up, and she's like,
That was a
I
secret
don't.
moment.
She's like, I don't got the money right now. Maybe we can go later. I'm like, don't worry about it. So so what happens? We drive in there, right? We drive in there. She was crying so much. She comes over, gives me a kiss on the cheek. I'm like,
This was all last night?
yeah, this was last
You
night.
left the stream? Damn.
This was like at 4 o'clock
You
in the
you're
evening.
living the life most of
Four
us are
o'clock.
trying.
Yeah, this is last night because we end up being out till like 2 in the morning. Because I didn't have work today. Neither did she.
Yo,
Actually,
Reddit.
she, actually, she just left like 20 minutes ago. Sadly, because she has work tomorrow morning. So
Y'all
do
hung
I.
out all night and all the rest of the day?
Yes.
Dang.
So she's like, oh, and then after we had a few drinks and stuff. After the night, she's like, oh, by the way, I just want to let you know you made my heart touch. And then and I'm like, oh, so sweet. Then she was looking me in the eyes. So this is very cheesy. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you want to go home, play some cards. So what I end up doing, playing cards, I said I don't have any cards, but I think I just pulled out a queen. I just pulled a queen, and
Dude.
she looked me in the eyes, and she gave me the look, and I went in for that kiss, bro. The
Oh, so you got your kiss?
Yeah, my first kiss. She's such a good kisser.
Is she on the spectrum too? Is she like normal or is she one of us?
She's normal. She's
Oh, she.
normal. Yeah, she's badass. She's badass. She's Latino, so it's like.
Wow. So what's the next step? Y'all are just gonna keep
So
talking and see each other at work?
right, right now, actually, on Monday we have a dance class together. She's like, oh, because I said I have a dance class and trying to learn dancing on Monday. She's like, oh, I was wondering if I can do it with you.
How did this happen? You're like whisked off into this whirlwind romance all of a sudden,
This is all
right before
happening.
our eyes.
She spoke about this today. She's like, "Oh, I want to make this a couples thing." Out of her mouth, and I have it on recording. She doesn't know that, but
Do you think she's gonna watch this stream?
no, because she doesn't know your stream
Oh, okay.
thing.
'Cause I would say hi to her.
No, she's nervous too.
Oh.
But
Wow, Ken, that
so
is
she's
that's some of
she's
the
like,
best
oh,
news the
she's like,
panel's
oh, I
had.
want to come dancing with you. I want to make this a couples thing. And when I heard that, I'm like, what do you mean couples? She's like, oh, I want to be with you. And I'm like,
So she's pretty good about like communicating and directing and the
well,
okay.
she
Because you wanted a kind of a film dom, so she's
yeah.
kind of taking charge.
You heard what I said? She's like, oh, I'm realizing that I thought overnight, because she said this morning, all this. She's like, oh, I had a nice time with you, because she got home. She went home at 3 a.m. and then she came back in the morning around like 10. So she didn't stay over, because that would have been just weird. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
We didn't want to do we don't want to do any.
Oh, so it wasn't all night.
No,
You took a little break and then got back.
we needed it because she needed to
Yeah.
go
Oh
and do
man,
it.
I remember those days. This is so cool to see.
It's so cute because I'll see her tomorrow, but we have to keep it. So she's like blah blah blah, and when she's like, oh, I just want to tell you how much I want to be with you, and I'm like,
This is getting intense fast.
so yeah.
Could be one of those.
She's like, I'm just waiting for God to send you to tell me to ask me to be my girlfriend. So I was like, she's like,
You told her that you were waiting for God.
No, she's told me because she knows I'm a Christian. She is too, but she's like,
she's waiting for God to tell you.
She's like, God will give it to you to ask her when. You know what I mean? She's what he wants. Yeah,
so
basically.
Trying to use God to rope you into. Isn't the trend that most women are like not trying to date?
She wants the perfect time. She wants
God.
the right. She wants to know when it's right for me to ask her. You know what I mean? The right time, and not so we're not. Yes, so we're not over pushing it. You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense actually.
And then she texted me like 5 minutes ago. It's like, oh, I just want to let you know I had the best time of my life. You made me feel so special. You're a sweetheart and you're charming. And I'm like,
you got the riz, kid. Well, keep us updated.
I will.
Are y'all doing anything tomorrow?
No.
What's today? Friday? Oh, so
she said it is possible she could have kids if she decide to unknot, because you can do that. You know, you can do that, right?
To what? Unknot?
Yeah, if you have kids.
Is that like stop being someone's girlfriend?
No, you know how you want kids, but then you stop to.
Unknot the surgery. Yeah, I have heard that before. That.
Yeah, she said. So she said she was going to unknot. She was going to not, but she didn't want to because she met me. You know what I mean?
This is getting weird. Like y'all just met and she's telling you she'll unknot for you.
No, she said she was going to tie the knots on having kids, but she decided not to.
Oh, so she
no, she said because I asked her why can't you have kids? She's like,
weird.
oh, I would thought about tying my knot, but then real. You know what I mean?
Like literal knot, not
to cut the thing to not have kids.
That's a weird conversation to have already. Are you sure she's normal?
Yeah, no, I asked her the conversation, and that's how it started. Because she's like, "Oh, I'm really how nice of a guy you are," and I feel like if God sent me to have kids with you, I want to have that. So I'm like, okay.
Well, you never. This could go anywhere. It's so singular.
I was trying to say because when I said she already cut, I didn't mean to say she already cut. She said she was thinking about it.
Thinking about having
cutting.
Already has the surgery, so she's thinking about undoing.
No, she did. She did not have the surgery.
She did not.
Thought about doing it.
She's currently able to have kids.
Yes,
but she was thinking about doing the tubal ligation.
Yeah,
or she
the
wouldn't.
reason why she said no kids is she didn't want to talk about it in the front, and she didn't know how aggravated, mad I would get, and or upset. And I'm like, don't be upset. I was honesty is the key. You
We
know,
need a woman up here or somebody. Is this weird to anybody else?
this is weird. You, it's not me. I
I
need
don't
to.
know women that well, as I've learned tonight, even as early as tonight. But this is
No,
setting
cause
off my weirdness
she's
sensors, which I feel like I do know well.
she said she had to get it off her chest and she wanted to be vulnerable with me, and I'm like, thank you for that. I
That is
appreciate it.
vulnerable. If that's what she was going for,
She felt like God told her to
you're
say that, so I was like, so she does like me. I can't believe because first she said she like I guess she got convicted or the Lord said I was the right one. I don't know.
oh wait, look, Vic says you know woman. Tell about the tube thing.
Yo,
What is with? I need this interpreted for me. This is
where,
so.
where
Just when I thought
where's
women couldn't get any weirder. What
where's
is
Ezra?
this? I'll
Where's
untie my
Ezra?
tubes for you, baby. I just met you. I
No,
was on my way to the tube
she
clinic,
said
but
she was gonna
since I
tie him.
met you,
Look,
I'm gonna
she
just put all that on pause so my
she
eggs will
said
stay.
she was gonna tie him, but then she, after talking to me yesterday, she decided to not. She rethought about it and decided not to. You know what I
My
mean?
interpretation of that is I want to have your children.
Basically.
He just met you, but I can't tell you up here in the front, so we got to go
No,
in the back
but
room in case you
but
get upset.
I've known her for like a long time, so it's not like we just met. If we just started talking, kind of
Oh, I didn't know that part. So how long have you known her? No, like, no, known her.
5 years.
Okay, from work, or you knew her outside
Yeah,
of that?
work, but
So
we
you've been there for 5 years.
yeah. I've been
Okay,
there over 7 years.
and for 5 years, she's built up this
Yeah,
about
I
you to the point of willing to hold off on the tube surgery. Tube.
no yesterday because we just started talking like last week. But
About
of
that.
actually liking each other. Thought
So
that's
for
weird.
5 years, y'all were just friends in each other's mind, or
No,
coworkers.
we were a quick co-workers and didn't even. We said hi. That's about it. We didn't get
Oh,
as
y'all
close
didn't
as
really
we.
know each other. Know each other. That's still. Oh, that makes it weird.
That's what she said. That's her interpretation.
Like
I don't.
just Vic, just like you have so much and a male masculine magnetism or whatever that
Just my
she let
soul.
you know that she's willing to reconsider her surgery
Because
because
she feels like I'm an honest man and would be a good
I need to
father.
know this about women because they pretend like they don't have this biological drive for children,
She said I
or
would.
that
She
doesn't drive
said
them as much as
yeah.
we think it does.
She
But
said God convicted her instead of that I would be a good father and stuff. She thought I'm
so
like
she's having conversations with God
yeah,
of her own.
which is
And
understand.
she's hoping that they match the ones that God's having with you.
Yeah.
So she's hoping she can trust God.
No, she's hoping she's giving faith that I would be a good father for her kids. You know what I mean?
How does she know? Like from just watching you for five
No,
years?
because she knows my faith. She knows my walk with God. Cause so we hung
Oh,
outside
okay.
of we hung
And
outside. So we she used to
if
come to my
Christian men are they getting more rare? Like are they harder to find now?
okay. Yeah, cause we hung out. We've hung out before and gone to church before, but we haven't had an actual conversation about like
Or know her?
actually liking. How old is she? I'm not
She's a
saying.
cougar, babe. She's cool. She's cool.
She she's
She's looking for a
34.
daddy for those kids and
She's
possibly more.
34. She's
But
30.
there's some kind of like, am I wrong? Can somebody like do a sanity check on me
Can I
that
say
I'm
something?
not imagining that there's this maternal biological instinct or drive for
She does. She does have a perfect size though.
care from my own? This is weird behavior for a human if there's
You
not
hear
something
me?
like that at work.
Yeah, she has a big ass.
for once, I actually want a woman on the panel. Can we get a woman?
Yeah, it's
Come up,
very
whatever that is these days. Can we get one of those? Preferably one that has
Where's
experience
Honey?
with child
You know, I'm
instinct.
gonna text her and see if she wants to come on panel.
Oh my god, tonight! Wow, I feel like I should sell tickets. We're not even monetized yet.
Dear babe.
I'm kind of sort of Vic. Did you you missed the beginning? I guess.
Wait a minute, I
Remember,
gotta
he
mute.
left the panel because they were texting and he had to go. And he took a shower and went over to his house. And now they're like madly in love. And she's willing to hold off on the tube surgery to have his kids. This
I'm
was all,
sorry.
and they spent like the last 2 days with each other. And this was all since he left the panel the other day. And that God told her that he would make a good father, and that
Okay,
she's hoping that God gives him the sign that to make him her girlfriend, his girlfriend.
yeah, she's eating dinner right now. She said maybe later.
Oh, okay.
Maybe later she's eating dinner. I don't
Oh,
want to call her.
later tonight she might come
Yeah,
on.
I texted her. I didn't want to call her from because she's like I'm eating dinner. But because I asked her what she's doing. I was wondering if you want to go. She's like
One
eating
way to
dinner.
get the truth is to have her here in person. Ooh,
If she comes on, because she's like straight nervous too. She has.
And depend, like, I don't know if other people will show up, but depending on who's all here by then, that could disincentivize someone.
If there's too many people, then I'm not gonna have her on. You know what I mean? Because I don't want her to.
We could do it another day too if she wants.
Yeah.
Like if she wants.
Maybe I'll talk. Maybe I'll talk to her first about it, and then how about that? That sounds good.
That sounds like a good way to approach it.
Yeah.
It's hot in here. Autonomy and individuality.
I can't believe she went in for the kiss. That's what I'm surprised. She's the one that went in for it.
It is weird to me. You don't have to convince me anymore. It's definitely set off my weird meter.
Like, because I know you lost your partner, right? How long ago? How old was she?
That was well, he was 38.
Oh yeah.
He was 38. I was 36.
No, I'm 20. I'll be 25. So.
We were about the same age.
Okay.
But yeah, your girl is about the age that he was at the time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're all gonna face it one way or the other, either on one end of it or the other at some point. Unless
I don't know. I don't want to ask you personal questions, but like, are you like bi, straight?
No, I'm gay. I've never been with a woman.
Why?
It's all for you. Y'all can have all of them. Never had the interest, never had the desire, and I've always known ever since I was a kid.
So you like? I don't know if I'm about to say the word.
Whatever that means, maybe, probably.
You like dick.
I like guys. I like everything. It's not just sexual for me. I like them emotionally, mentally. I get along with them better. I'm homosexual and homophilia. It's sexual attraction, but it's also emotional attraction as well. Because there's a lot of gay guys that are attracted to guys, but they emotionally get along better with women. So they have like a best girlfriend.
Did you think I was gay when you met me or no?
No, but I noticed that other people make comments about your voice. But you didn't set off my gator at all. Like I took you at your word.
Nah, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gay, so I'd rather not. Cause actually, you know, I'm gonna say you good looking. I'm just gonna say you're cute looking.
Oh, wow! Thanks. I don't know what to do with that, Spider-Man. That's a high compliment coming from you.
I'm just gonna change.
Well, thank you. I'll just say thank you.
You're welcome.
What a nice thing to hear for a change.
Bro, where's everyone else?
Well, this was supposed to be a big old bitch fest, and all we got is this like happy Cinderella romance story.
And Ezra wasn't here to say it. If she comes on, are you gonna be on live tomorrow?
Yeah, my usual time, like I think 3 o'clock your time.
Yeah, you should do 2 lives because I don't know if I'll be on that time. You should do 2 lives.
2 lives. Sometimes I do another one in the evening, like tonight.
Yeah, you should do that because you got more people watching.
Yeah, you get a different crowd at different times. I eventually want to do a 24-hour, like just keep it going forever and have different
Where's
people.
Ezra tonight? Where's
Where
Sister Ezra?
I don't know. She doesn't really. I don't see her on here very often. She happened to stop by that day. Let's see. Provo is streaming. See, if I was monetized, we could go raid. I wish there was a way to drop in on people's streams while I'm still streaming. Flow.
Flow
Let's see.
State.
Provo's just reading something. Flow is just restream. Oh, it's Flow and Joe Cool, and they're restreaming Paul and Slave something. It's the same characters.
Do you know who
Hey,
Dolly?
Shelby. What's up?
Shelby, can she come on stream?
She's been on before. Shelby's a friend of mine from up here. We know each
Hey
other.
Shelby, can you come on stream so it's not awkward? Because I was
We
discussing.
do need a woman's perspective.
Yes.
This little kid is.
I'm not a kid.
Well, to me, you like half my age, but this young man.
You don't look a day over 20.
That's pretty much true. This young man just got into some, like, literally he was on the stream texting the girl, and then he signed off the channel yesterday, and now he's in the middle of this romance with her, and
Because she had to talk to me.
getting weird, and we need a woman's perspective. I can only help him so far. I think she really here's what I know from women. Is there a biological clock? Is there an instinct that kicks in where they're like, I have got to find a man to give me babies now. I have got to have babies. I need a man. Is there that drive? Is that a real thing? We have TinyBethany.
I also used a couple pickup lines, so because I offered if she wanted to play cards, but I said don't.
Wait,
have
one
cards,
more time.
so
I think I caught you in the back, but one more time. Sure. Okay. So we have a woman's perspective.
What's her name?
Her name is Bethany, TinyBethany. So we'll see what she has to say. Welcome, Bethany. Is there a biological drive for kids? Is there a biological clock? Is that a thing? Oh, Shelby, I'll put the link. It should be pinned at the top, but I'll drop it in the chat.
Hey, fellas.
Oh, what's up, Bethany? And after you finish telling us that, you tell us what a woman is, too.
Yo.
It's flexible.
Oh, well. Your connection is giving you away.
Yo. He's trolling.
I just want to say
only one connection that drops.
They're trolling. They're trolling us.
I need to talk to your girlfriend that you're just talking about. I need to have a conversation with her. Can I have her phone number?
No.
She might end up on the stream later.
I hope so. She sounds really nice, and woman to woman talk.
No, she won't like you.
So you were asking Jeff about if he's bi. Are you bi?
Don't know.
Oh, you might be. To me, you would know. Like, to me, people know what they find attractive or not. I knew very early what I was attracted to. You don't find guys attractive. You probably not gay. I didn't think you were.
I don't know, though, because I never thought about it.
But physically, do they draw your eye? Do they, like, make your...
Honestly, sometimes.
Chemicals start to go up. And
What if it's a woman but she has a penis? Is that okay?
Oh, I got in trouble behind that last time. It cost me an entire co-host. Okay, now we have an actual woman.
Yo.
We have Miss Shelby here.
Yo, what's up, Shelby?
Woman or not, I can show you if I'm a woman.
Welcome. I know that you can set this to rest for us. I trust your opinion.
Can we just have free people up here?
Yeah, me too, midlife.
I don't trust a real woman's opinion if she don't have a penis.
I do trust Shelby. I know Shelby and I are real life friends.
Well, she better have
built up a lot of trust over the years.
It's gonna be a cat fight.
Are you a catfish?
And I honestly, I'm not a woman. I don't have a woman's
Hey,
endocrine system, nervous system,
is
physiology. I
Tiny?
don't know what drives women, but this lady sounds like she wants a baby from somebody quick.
Can I say something? Is TinyBethany a catfish?
I can give you my phone number. You can find out.
No, thank you. This is weird. I'm uncomfortable. I gotta go.
Well, well, Shelby's about to.
TinyBethany, do you mind if Shelby and me and Jen have a personal conversation?
You want me to kick him?
Yeah, if that's okay.
All right, Bethany, we're gonna let you go in.
You're no fun, and I'm gonna take your woman away from you.
Dear.
We're gonna let you go in the changing room and get ready.
Bro, that made me feel so uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was just you, but it made me feel uncomfortable.
You were getting pranked. That was called a troll.
I figured.
Welcome to Metaverse. Shelby, can you hear us?
Are you mad at me for doing that?
We're not able to hear you for some reason.
Yo, Jeff, are you mad at me for doing that? Because I got confused. I got very uncomfortable.
This is kind of a delicate topic, at least to me.
Shelby.
Oh God, the universe, the demons do not want us to hear this.
I can't hear.
She can't hear us.
I can't hear you.
We can't hear you either.
I can.
Oh, you heard her?
Yeah.
Can you say something? Say something.
Talk.
Oh, damn! All right, we need another woman. Midlife. Do you have the answer? You're kind of woman adjacent from all of your rich vein of life experience. Do women have a biological instinct that drives them to like have kids urgently? Urgency to have children.
I'm also questioning. I don't know if it's a good question, but could she be just doing it just to get kids and then dump me?
But then you do women do that too? Like, why would they not want the man? She was talking about how good of a. I know we could. I wasn't sure we could hear you either. Oh, baby rabies. Yeah, midlife. Come up and tell us about. I'm really in the dark. Here's what's happening when he's telling this story. My alerts are going off, but I don't know enough about women to know why. But something's weird about it because she told him that she was like preparing to go have tubal ligation surgery, but that after meeting him, she's willing to hold off on it. And that seems a very weird thing to say on a first date.
It was actually technically twice a second date because we did back yesterday and today because she said it today.
That doesn't make it less weird for some reason. But I'm willing to get either a woman's perspective or midlife. I will take midlife's.
I know, confusing. It's not that I'm confusing.
I feel like he has the experience.
It's not that I'm confused. I'm not confusing you guys. She's the one confusing me.
Yeah, she's confusing me too, and I don't even know her. I hope she does come up later.
She comes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of being confused by women.
If she comes up, don't steal my girl, please. She's mine.
Oh, you said, bro, you're safe with me. Not only am I not going to steal her, I'm probably going to have to force her on you to get her out of here.
She loves to be called mama too.
Well, see, we lost TinyBethany, and we.
That's my fault.
You think he could come back up?
If you don't show me.
He. I'm sorry, Bethany. I think I just misgendered you. Oh well, you're on my stream. Wow. Well,
you can someone else come up.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come up, I did post it all over social media. But really, there's a lot going on tonight. There's like 5 or 6 people streaming. I was hopping from one stream to the other in the comments. Talcott, decent stream tonight. I really enjoyed it. Wow. Okay, let's. Flo has. It's the same cast. Oh yeah. There's people up on there. I don't really. Not tonight. Oh, and then verbal combat's happening. Let's see what's going on with Easy. Ooh, who's this little guy? Hey, someone tell me who this little blonde Aussie is.
Who is it? Can you show me?
Yeah, I'm about to share it. Let me tweak my setting real quick.
Because I know who it is if I know who it is.
Did you guys?
Oh, I know who that is.
Or did you want to move on?
Yo,
to the next
pause
topic?
it, pause it.
'Cause I know we didn't.
I know who that is. So I met that guy today. Do you know who Gracie Thorpe is? Hello? You're muted.
Say no more. Say no more. Ding, ding, ding. That's a red line for me. That's all I need to know. Okay, we
Do
can
you know
move
who
on.
she was? Do you know who she?
And even more so, her dad. I don't even want their name on my stream.
So that person does speed
Get
dating.
crawling right now.
She did speed dating, and he was on because I also tried it.
Woo.
She's a wild one. I was just making a joke out of it. I'm not actually gonna date her because I already have someone.
Okay. Well, it's.
Anyways, that person we're not. Cuckoo. Why are you looking so fine today?
I have to pee, but I'm scared to step away.
Same.
You know.
You're looking so good today.
Let me see if I can. You know what? Maybe I can. It's always risky restreaming Flow, but maybe I can do it just. What's Provo up to? Some guy with a balloon. Oh, that's an ad. No, it's not. It's Provo's.
Bro, can you bring Shelby up?
Well, I think she's having connection problems.
Ask her if she's still on.
Yeah. Here, I think what I'm gonna do. Oh God, this is such a risk. Let me see who's on. No, I don't want to. There's certain people I want to give airtime to. Never mind. Oh, actually. All right, I'm gonna stream this so I can go pee, and hopefully nothing happens. This is me playing Russian roulette. Here we go.
Wait, so I'm not gonna be on a panel?
Well, you can.
I can hold the fort.
Oh Lord. Can I trust you to kind of just sit and host the video? And
Yeah.
I'm only gonna be like.
I'm your rent for a reason.
Okay, then yeah.
I'm just gonna put subs up.
I'm just gonna turn my camera off and play the video. That's all I'm gonna do. Well, I don't even need the video. We got TinyBethany back.
I thought I'd come back and say hi.
That's even better content. Do you think you and Ken can co-host for a second while I go pee?
Yeah, just turn out the lights.
All right, I'll be right back.
Oh God.
Take it away, fellas. I mean,
So
ma'am. And
to know each other a little bit.
Are you trolling?
You don't think men can have penises? I mean, women?
No. God didn't design them to.
Well, we're going to have to report you to the transgender police, and they're going to have to come and show you what it's all about to be a transgender.
Okay. Let's play a game then.
Let's play a game. I like that movie.
Let's play.
Do you play any musical instruments?
Currently in guitar.
Me too. Do you want to hear a little ditty I can do for you?
I guess so.
You like it?
Every night I find her. Yes.
You are such a good singer. Did anyone tell you that?
Can I
I bet.
sing a
I
song?
bet that. I bet that Latina tramp is not telling you that you're beautiful.
That's okay then. Can I sing a song?
Yeah, let's sing it together. What song do you like? I like Backstreet Boys.
I'm singing a song. And in my twisted face, there's no If I Can't Love Her by Beauty and the Beast.
I'm more of a Little Mermaid.
Okay, let's sing Little Mermaid. What song?
Up where they run, up where they play, up where they're in the sun all day. That one.
Little.
Oh, thank y'all so much. I hope I still have a stream in the morning. What's up? Did y'all resolve anything?
We're singing. Part look at that stuff.
We're gonna
Isn't
you
it
a married
neat? Wouldn't
girl.
you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl is everything? Look at those treasures untold. How many wonders
That's
can
public
I
domain.
hold? Looking around here, you see, sure. She's got everything.
I think it's
I've
gonna
got gadgets and
defeat the
gizmos.
algorithm.
I got
Okay,
all-
verbal combat. Somebody is
I tried.
backstage.
I tried. I couldn't. I tried.
Is this
to.
really you? Did you get kicked? Did you lose verbal combat? That's why you're here. Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, I got thrown out after one of the most, like, I'm not even joking when I say that, like, so remember, Chaotic Truth?
Yeah, he's been on here once.
So the Chaotic Truth panel was like literally 500 times better than the verbal combat.
Bro, we almost got porn bombed.
Did you get? Was it a 1-on-1 and you got fatality?
No, it was like 8-on-1, and everybody was incapable of arguing against me, so they started calling me a pedophile because that's all they had left.
Right.
Jeff,
Oh, thanks, Ken.
did you hear what I said?
I forgot about that. That's why I'm so glad that I have you wrenched up. What's up?
Can you kick that person?
TinyBethany?
I'll tell you why in a bit.
Just type it in the chat, or they'll see it. So what's going on?
Can you do a kick them and I'll type it in the chat.
Oh, they left on their own. So okay, go ahead. And so, like, did someone pay to have you kicked off? TCPS?
Did you see what I
somebody spent $100 because
Oh
they
no! Wait, hang on 1 sec. Oh no, I know TinyBethany. That's not what's happening. But
Okay,
I do appreciate you looking out for it
because he almost showed something on camera, and I'm like,
yeah, but I trust.
okay.
That.
I wasn't sure. My bad. I was just trying to be a good French.
Yeah, you were. So what happened? Someone paid $100 to kick you.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I mean the whole panel. I got the sense based on I sort of sniffed the air and I could tell that generally it was people that were pretty
Bro,
like,
what do you look like?
What does what was the point of contention that they were ganging up over you over?
Because I was in favor of traditional sort of indigenous methods of sex education, and they thought that meant because of the fact that it involves, like all sex education, involves adults teaching minors. Therefore, that meant that I was a groomer and a pedophile.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, like, no joke. And it was like literally the most bad faith, childish thing I've ever seen in my life. Was all these like ultra right wing Christian nationalists getting triggered.
One more time. Am I on the right track? Yeah. Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, and then I'm going to bring up KatToy.
KatToy. What I was gonna say is I have an idea for your panel.
Okay.
I know we have these debatable topics, but we should also have like once a week, like on a Friday night or something. We should have game night.
We've been trying to have like we couldn't get anybody interested. I would love. Are you on Discord?
No, but actually yes, I am.
We were even wanting to stream some games. Here's KatToy, everyone, and TCPS. I still want to hear the rest of the story.
Hi, KatToy.
That's ridiculous. Like, who was on the panel tonight? Hey, KatToy.
It was all these like Christian nationalists and other like assorted, I guess you could say like far right people that were convinced that all traditional societies, all like tribal societies are just like horrible in every way, that they immediately latched on to this idea that any sort of positive understanding of adolescent sexuality is immediately child grooming and pedophilia. They started accusing me of being a pedophile because I was in favor of basically not their, I guess, puritanical understanding of sexuality. And eventually it generated into a screaming match where they were all talking over me and throwing hissy fits. And they were all saying that like that my prescriptions for society were not only perverted but horrible and false.
Yeah.
To the fact that these societies I was talking about, quote unquote, were societies that got conquered by other societies, which is hilarious because their societies have all been conquered by wokeness. But then they try to invent all these excuses for why that doesn't matter.
Hey, yeah, Jeff.
I feel better that it's not just me getting
Yeah, Jeff.
Getting attacked on panels tonight.
So
Thank you.
I have a question. Everyone in the panel, are you agreeing to have a game night? Like, are Fridays okay with you, Jeff?
Well, we can organize it later because we're on we have a whole game channel on Discord that we can organize it in. But I'm recruiting for a mage game too.
Because I only have
mage. But we're up for anything. We have people that are willing to play D&D. If you have a Roll20 account, we usually play on there. I'd like to do some White Wolf, the storytelling games, either mage and or demon.
Yo, Jeff, look in the chat, in private chat. Do you have that or no?
I don't.
Okay, because then you can send me the link to Discord. But
Vic, are you on Discord? Oh, I can put it in the chat. I can put it in the back. Because everyone else, I think, is in the Discord.
Mine, I have on my other account, so I can't do it from the computer.
Okay, can you copy and paste it to have later? That's our Discord. Yeah, Vic, if you're on Discord, hit me up. And my name is Gen X Jeff. And we can get something going. Because we even talked about streaming some.
Do you have the email or no?
I do. It's that see the Primal Hex under my Twitter? It's the same name at Gmail.
Where I don't see it. Can you send it to me in private chat?
I'll put it in the private chat.
And then I'll use my other account, send you an email through there and telling it to me. I'll use my name, saying it to what's the name.
All right. So, KatToy, do you have anything to say?
Can I take a bathroom run real quick? I gotta go pee.
Oh Lord, please don't ask me. Just
I'm gonna go outside.
Take the hall pass and go. KatToy, that's a beautiful whatever you did to your forehead there.
Yes, it says gender equality.
It's so stunning and brave. Yes, Queen.
That's why I did it.
I like your are you wearing a flag?
People are always trying to like judge me.
What does it say? It should say equity. It says equality. You spelled equity wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm in another country, so over here they haven't got that far along, but they're working on it.
Oh Lord. Welcome. Yo. So do women, is that true about women? Do they have this like urge to have like the kid thing? This
Don't act stupid, Jeff. Stop it.
I thought like if anybody would know other than a woman, you would
I didn't come up here to talk about that. That's why I waited. Do I have to talk about that?
No, you don't. I'm burning curious though.
As the only lady on the panel, I think you need to. It's a must.
Anyways,
what's so tense and like
what's on your mind tonight? Midlife. What
Can I
happened to
give you a
Tiffany?
little massage?
You can.
KatToy, you about to get sit. You about to get chewed.
You said you lost your co-host over woman penis? Is that what I heard?
Oh, were you there that day with Lib?
No.
Oh. Yeah.
Lib disappeared after I called him out for being fake trans.
Well, he disappeared.
I was
when
worried
we got
about him.
into it too. I was
honestly
because what the trans activists are trying to do is normalize the idea that women can have penises and men can get pregnant. That's one of the things I thought they were trying to do.
Hold
That
on,
came from
who
the
are you to
trans
say we
people
can't? If I
themselves.
want to
And
have
when
a
I
penis
when
to
I
be a
said
woman,
that, Lib freaked
are
out
you
and
to tell
attacked
me I
me
can't
for
do
it, like
that?
it was my position.
Who are you to tell me I can't do that? If I want to chop it off, I can do it. Okay, who cares?
Cam
I
up
don't
or
care
shut
what
up.
you do.
I don't know who this
What
person.
you do.
Who's this new one? This freak you found?
That's
Who is it?
KatToy. Have you
Since
not
when
met
it-
KatToy?
No,
Our new stunning and brave queen. She's
Who
one
never
of our
cams
new
up?
Rainbow people. She's auditioning for Lib's replacement.
another fake trans.
What's wrong with being
Well,
fake trans? I can
Get
be
to
real
know
trans.
her
Why do
midlife.
you care? What is it about my private parts that interests you?
You
So
sound
what?
you sound
Come
like
on, if
Mickey.
Baby Reindeer can do it, you could
Dude,
give it.
Ken's voice is more believable than yours. So really, just stop. Let me talk to Jeff.
You sound like Mickey Mouse. Or
Well, I
Minnie.
think that if you really want to talk to Jeff so bad, you should just get down on your knees and help him out a little bit. You know?
Oh my.
Is that a Puerto Rican hat?
Yes, sir.
Are you Puerto Rican?
Yes, sir, my guy.
Are you born in Puerto Rico? You're Boricua?
No, I'm not born there.
Oh.
Would you hit it?
I'm adopted.
Oh, okay, right on.
So you don't know what you are? You could do a me in 23.
I'm trying to.
You know they used.
Spicy meatball.
You know,
Stop with your
oh my god.
Stop with your Mickey Mouse voice.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
I know.
Can I hear the story about Lib? Because I was worried that I went in so hard, and then like that she,
Were you
whatever
there
the
that
fuck
day?
there.
It was
no, that they were.
Honestly,
Oh my god.
Honestly,
Oh.
midlife, like you're more feminine than me. You're like a gossiper. Oh, tell me what the gay, transgender, non-gender said. Oh my god, I need to know everything he said. Oh my god.
I mean, it's
Your
true.
voice is a-
The truth hurts. I don't
Your-
know why these things appeal to me, but they do. It's kind of embarrassing.
Your
but-
voice is kind of
Can I
annoying.
interest you in a
But-
woman with a penis? That might also appeal to you.
But Jeff, I want a woman with a penis to come on my show because it's gay month, and I need them. And I
I forgot. Oh, right. Tomorrow.
I want to do a Stonewall show with you, Jeff. And like, are you finally going to watch Brokeback? Are you even gay? You've never seen Brokeback Mountain, so can you please watch that and we can review?
Yeah, I
It's
guess
one of the
I'll do
best
this.
fucking
It
movies
seems like
ever.
it's going to be a corny little romance. Plus, it's going to be.
It is
like,
the best romance movie ever.
I don't have anyone to lay on the couch and watch it with. It's going to be.
You don't have.
that's
No,
a
you don't
big
want to
ass.
because it's fucking depressing. You
I
don't
know,
just lay
that's
with
what
your
I'm worried
dog.
about. Yeah, we'll watch it. We
cat.
can do it for our next Men on Film.
By the way,
We have to do it during gay month.
I'm just letting you know I am Jeff co-host, by the way.
Well, you're all my co-host. And
What happened to Chris? I want to know what happened to Chris.
Chris is resting. He's not. He caught that bug from the baby, and he's been laid up.
Oh, so that's not the co-host you lost?
No, I'm one.
No,
of the-
Lib. Well,
I didn't know
I
Lib
don't
was
have
an
a
official
Y'all are
co-host.
all co-hosts. There's no more co-hosts. Everybody's a co-host. No, Lib is the one that isn't left because of what it's complicated because it involves a whole bunch of shit that's built.
It's
up
not.
that
It's
I didn't
not
know
because
was
these
built
trans
up.
people are nuts. Let's face it.
Jeff.
And Lib. Shout out to Lib. Shout out to Lib. I wish nothing but the best. But let's face it. Lib is an edgelord, and
Hey,
everything
I have-
edgy. Oh my god, I can't finish a fucking sentence with you, Ken. We need like the conch. Okay,
Ken,
you
I'm
hold
gonna-
the
I'm gonna
talking
mute
stick,
you for a
Ken.
second so he can. Okay, there we go. Okay,
And
go
let's
ahead,
face
bro.
it, you know what's up with Lib. Just an edgelord, anything edgy they want, right? And it's just a phase. Come out of that phase, Lib, and
Well,
come back
but if
to your
it's
boy
a
Gen
phase,
X
then
Jeff.
he has to naturally come out when the phase is over. You can't just like will yourself out of a phase.
That's a good
Oh, so
fucking
I
point.
just confirmed that apparently I'm the first fatality in the history of verbal combat.
Oh, you mean the first $100?
Yeah, the first time anybody ever had me kicked out of a panel. The first time anybody's ever been kicked out of a panel on that show.
I'm
was
so
me.
proud to know you.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of a mixed blessing because now at this point, after the shit I just got through, like I'm wondering if they're gonna try and swat me or something like that. Like, I mean, if they try any of that bullshit, if they try that bullshit, it's an immediate lawsuit. I'm gonna expose all of because they're all fuck buddies of Tim Bob and Jay Dyer and all those other clowns. So if they try to any bullshit on me, I'm gonna go to them. I'm gonna point out all their connections to the alt-right and white nationalists. I'm going to destroy their lives and destroy their careers. So
what do they have a history of doing that?
Well, Jay Dyer has a very long history of threatening to dox people and being basically an abusive bully.
Well,
I mean, you're kind of a fucking fag yourself.
You send him to me. I'll stick demons on him.
Is this Moose? Is this Moose by another name?
Sorry?
Moose?
Is that you, Moose?
No.
I've never gone by the name of Moose.
No,
whatever your name is, you are.
He's not on.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh my God. Okay, someone else talk. Let me know when it's my turn.
I'm going to head out.
Okay.
Everyone, I just want to say, since I'm one of the wrenches, I want to say, everyone sub up and like up to the only Gen X Jeff, the best streamer out there. Make sure you sub up and love and respect him for who he is.
I agree. Next time, bring your bitch. Bye.
Much love.
Take care, kid. Drop by and give us an update.
Yeah, if she hops on, let me know, because.
And we'll try. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of this kid thing for you.
So I love you.
Take care.
Love you guys. Be praying for you guys. Peace.
Peace, Ken. Boricua.
Boricua. Adios. Adios, amigos.
Te veo la próxima vez. Boricua.
Boricua. Peace. Boricua KatToy. Go get your cat toys. Meow.
Ciao.
Ciao. Peace. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Okay.
All right, get the fuck out of here, man. Enough with the goodbyes and the bullshit. I'm trying to make amends or trying to like.
You're gonna make me kick my wrench.
You're a fucking nut. Yeah, you.
Go ahead.
Get the fuck out. What is it with this show and all these cowards? Like I'm talking to you, speakeasy panelists, pathetic fuck asses. You just, I'm gonna sue them. They're bullies, and you just come over here and you're gonna sue them. I mean, bro, you should suck off.
Okay, listen,
because
boy,
you are two
boy,
peas in a fucking pod. You're both fucking. You and Moose are two peas in a pod.
How did Moose come into this?
Because he's threatening to sue. He's threatening to sue, just like Moose. It's the same fucking MO.
No, it's
they went to the same.
No, I'll tell you what. Though, if they try any bullshit on me, I'll tell you what. Midlife Brologic. If you try any bullshit on me, it's over for you too. All right. So let's.
Man, y'all are quick with the lawfare threats. Barnabas, come back. Have you had a past history with people doing that to you? Because
hang on, that Midlife Brologic clown, he ran away as soon as I was tough on him. Wow, the guy that just like whined about how I was a coward literally ran. Is that literally what happened? Did he just run away?
Maybe he lost his connection. I don't know, but I wish.
Wow, what a pathetic turd! I almost think that was the biggest pathetic turd I've seen all day. Except I had to deal with the fucking speakeasy panel. Like that was unreal. You should watch that shit.
Oh my God! How long have you been in the Panelverse? That was nothing. What just happened? That was like a non-event. That didn't even.
I don't know, man. I mean, apparently, I was the first person in the history of that panel to get booted off. So.
Oh yeah, that's an event.
Mr. Speakeasy.
That's why this stuff on here shouldn't even.
Mr. Speakeasy panel, man, can you explain your position on there? Because now you're in a safe space where we can discuss these things.
We can help you process.
Oh, my position on what? The thing that got me kicked off.
But it doesn't matter because his position, like what they came back with, had nothing to do with his position. It was a complete like rhetorical maneuver. It wasn't.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. It was because they were scared.
They weren't rebutting an argument. They were like piling on, like trying to find the worst thing to pile on about.
Well, that's the thing because they were afraid of what they were terrified. So you were watching the panel?
No, I'm going off of your description.
they were terrified of what I had to say. So they immediately, when I was pointing out that we need to actually have like proper sex education the way they do in a lot of these traditional societies, they immediately were like, oh, well, that means that you must support grooming of children by adults. And that was all that they had. Like, that was all they could deal with because of the fact that they were afraid of the actual nuances of the points I was trying to make. So that was all that they could.
Well, what is your idea? Let me see if it's grooming. What is your idea of?
Well, my
sex
idea is
education?
basically that we need to have sex education, except that it needs to actually be, accurate, and it needs to be geared towards teaching people how to have good sex rather than just how to like avoid STDs and all that bullshit.
How do you have good? Do people even know that? I thought it depends on the person.
It depends on the person to an extent, but at the same time, there are lessons that, generally speaking, you can impart to people that are.
Is it our role to teach kids how to be good in bed? Like, and can you even teach that? If somebody's bad in bed, what can you do about it?
What can you do about
There's
it?
an art to
You need
sex.
to be
It's
better.
an instinct, and you
There's
magic
an
is
art.
there, it's
Yeah,
not.
there's an art, but it's an art that is learned. It's not something that's innate or inborn.
No one ever taught it to me.
Yeah, exactly, because you live in a maladaptive society.
No, I mean I had no problem like getting sexually engaged, and I knew everything to do. Like I
Well,
didn't have
to
to
be
be
fair,
taught any of it. My body taught it to me.
It's easier, I think, if you're attracted to men than if you're attracted to women. Let me put it that way. Like, I think that if you're a man who's interested in sex with women, then you're going to have to learn certain things.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because we share the same bodies, so there was a lot that I already knew. And
Yeah,
with men and
that's a
women,
big point.
it's alien territory.
Yeah, and there is a sense to which it's something that needs to be, that one does need prior training. And of course, it's fascinating because you say this in the real world and people don't get butthurt and triggered over it, but you say this on an online panel, all of a sudden, immediately it's like, oh, we got to swat this dude because he's clearly a pedophile because he.
Yeah, all kind of weird things happen in this panelverse. I'm noticing this is not normal society.
Yeah, and that's the
it's
thing.
much
Like,
more aggressive, like junior high school or primitive.
well, it's not even primitive because I'm interested in quote unquote primitive societies, and
Well, I guess emotionally primitive is like not developed into mature adulthood.
Yeah, well, it's childish, and I pointed that out time after time on this panel. You should watch it sometime because it was like, I mean, I over and over again was pointing out like, you guys are being babies, you guys are being pathetic. You got the way that you guys are acting is not the way that like mature grown-ups act. And and everybody shrieked and got mad because of the fact that like they immediately seized upon the fact that, oh my God, this guy is like promoting basically like a liberal attitude on sexuality, but to make it worse, because the audience is overwhelmingly super right wing, obviously, but to make it worse, not only am I promoting a quote unquote liberal attitude towards sexuality, but I'm appealing to traditional cultures to do so, which is like a double.
Oh, that's what really freaked him out.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I'm not appealing to like stupid wig history. I'm not appealing to like, oh, like the past is just awful and bad, and we should just develop past these like technologically primitive brown-skinned scum. And because I didn't share that sort of pinkerite worldview, that really
Wait,
made
they
me
said
mad.
brown skin scrum, or were you reading?
Well, that's my addition to it. But and they got, by the way, because I pointed that out. I pointed out the racism inherent in this, in their whole presuppositional framework, and they got mad over that. And so, well, how can you say that? But I was like, well, hang on, but are you saying anything different? You're literally denigrating all the societies that are not white right now, and you're getting mad when I'm pointing out the fact that that's racist as fuck.
Well, it made easy $100 and got you a title. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, but it's like, this human trash, as far as that, like, that's the thing. Like, these people, I pointed this out on the panel. I said, because at one point someone was asking like, what's your goal here? And I was like, I was sick of it. So I was like, I guess my goal is to cast pearls before swine, because that's what I felt like I was doing.
That kind of is what you do, or what you've been doing, like on YouTube. There's always been this sense that you're wasting your breath here.
Yeah, that's it. And you're right. That's an issue. And that's an issue I've noticed, is that like, I feel like the people here on YouTube are at the intellectual level of 4-year-olds, and I'm trying to actually have a grown-up conversation.
Well, yeah, it's for like, I think the general population, the amount of intellectual people that are interested in that is small too. I think in that sense the panelverse is probably reflective of the larger population.
Well, the thing is that like I have
people are not nerds and geeks about things.
But the weird thing is that I have conversations with people in the real world and they don't go like this. Like, this is something specifically, and maybe they're just, putting on their best face in public or something, and deep down they're just like the panelverse. But like, I don't get the sense that the average person in real life that I know is this much of a loser.
Well, you probably don't have people all ganging up at you at once and paying $100 to get you out of a room.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, in real life, I don't get this sort of childish reaction. Like, I mean, it's weird because like IRL,
the panelverse does allow for like a certain, I guess that was my point when I said it's regressive. I think it does allow for a certain level of behavior that we would inhibit or suppress if we were all in person. And I kind of saw that with AOL back in the days too, because we would all hang out and tear each other apart in the chat room, and we'd all see each other at the same bars and clubs, and everybody'd be like, "Oh, hey, girl, oh, it's good to see you." Like, so people, there is a little like different. People arrange themselves differently when there's like when you're in person. There's that physical presence that could be a threat versus when you're behind a screen.
I also think it's like the sort of people that are hanging out doing this sort of stuff. Because let's face it, the average person on a Friday night isn't on Speakeasy's panel. You know what I mean? Like, the average American adult isn't doing that. Like, the people that are doing that are a bunch of cocks and incels, basically. Like,
does this mean anything? What even is this? Glasses?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, welcome, Homelander. Yeah, you're right. You are like measuring yourself against probably a very fringe group in the population.
But it makes you wonder what the hell I've been wasting my time doing, because I have more results actually trying to deal with people in the real world that I do try.
Well, why don't you do more of that? Because it is I see the frustration, and I share it in some ways too.
You know what? I mean, I think I will do that from here on out. I've been thinking for months about this idea of just permanently destroying Traditional Culture Preservation Society, because, to be honest, it's not getting anywhere. Like, there are people out there that are extremely open to these ideas, but they're not the people that are on these stupid panels. They're not the people that are in the YouTube comments. Like, those people are like the rubbish that are afraid of the sorts of things I have to say. And the people that are open to the sorts of things I have to say, first of all, they're people that are actually indigenous themselves, who typically aren't highly active on YouTube. Or else they're just people that, for other reasons, are just not highly active on YouTube.
Yeah. I find that the panelverse, you kind of just have to roll with it. You can't really make it be what you want it to be. You have to adapt to what it is and learn how to make that work for you.
Yeah, well, I'm over it. I'm over trying to deal with this crap.
Yeah, I don't blame, especially after tonight. Like, it sounds like you got caught in the scapegoat ritual. That always brings up those strong emotions for me.
Yeah, man, I think it was people fear what they don't understand. And that's exactly, I think I was caught up in the middle of a fear reaction by people that didn't want to deal with cultural critique. And so they found refuge in their own insecurity.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. And sometimes just group dynamics take over, especially I think with the more neurotypical, or like neurotypicals seem particularly susceptible to group dynamics.
Yeah, well, I learned my lesson.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I hope I learned my lesson. I hope that this is the end of TCPS, this failed experiment of mine.
Well, but you probably learned from it too. So
yeah, I
it
learned I'm
wasn't
never doing this
completely
shit.
without value. And you got to meet all of us. Like we got to meet you through it.
That's true. I guess it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I enjoyed knowing you. And
But I can't
definitely stay in touch. Like, but I hear people leave all the time, so we'll see when we see you. It's almost never final.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I've wanted to leave for a while, but I keep on coming back because I keep on thinking, well, maybe if I just try one more time, it won't be a complete nightmare like it's always been.
And that's not a bad thing to do, like to try periodically. So it's like rationally, that makes perfect sense to me.
Well, to be fair, after this time, it might be a good idea for me to leave permanently now that half of the internet is claiming I'm
this will blow over. Like, but tomorrow a whole new page will turn and there'll be somebody else's drama on it. But like, take a break until you feel like you have to come back, but you don't have to be final about it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just right now, you're definitely getting a signal that it's time to step away. I took 1 day off of YouTube and it did me a world of good. I think it was last week, and I didn't realize how much I needed a whole day off of the YouTube, and I still watched a few panels.
Oh, it is what it is. I need to just, you know what? I need to learn my lesson and just realize that the Kali Yuga of American society will get what it deserves and it'll deserve what it gets. I need to stop pretending that somehow there's some hope for this piece of shit. I need to just figure out that this country will fail and it will deserve its failure. And what even is the point of sitting there and guffawing, I told you so, when we fail, because we'll deserve every bit of it. And every single person that will face the consequences of their stupidity will have deserved that. And unfortunately, the problem is that even the people that don't deserve it will get carried down, will be, witnessing the punishment that's brought down upon all of us by the stupid idiots that caused this country to fail in the first place.
That's a lot to carry inside of you.
Well, at the same time, though, there's nothing I can do about it because, as I've learned this last year or so, every time I try to do something about it, best case scenario, I get ignored and kicked into the mud. Worst case scenario, I have people out there trying to destroy my life, claiming I'm a pedophile.
Well, I don't know that despair is ever a good strategy. I would always keep a little room open for hope.
Well, I'm keeping a little room open for hope by getting the fuck off the internet.
I think that sounds healthy. And
getting the fuck off the internet and lawyering up and finding out where all these people that are going after me live, so that I can turn my lawsuits against them if they try to do anything to me.
I don't think it will come to, I think people talk big here. I don't personally think it will come to that, but if it does, let us know, because that's like serious.
Yeah, well, I'm seriously much more vindictive than I think they realize, so they better not pull that shit on me.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully that was the end of it.
Yeah, well, if it's not the end of it, then they'll be a lot more sorry than I'll be. So,
but if they're paying to get rid of you, I don't know if they're going to go out of their way to seek you out either.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Well, I'm sorry you had a bad night. It's been a weird night tonight in the panelverse in general. Even like not even us. I was watching other streams and they got weird too. Other people have drama.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly what this is that the whole point of the panel verse, I think it's a whole big psyop. The whole point of it is to divert people's attention from real problems and get people to focus on these like stupid little rabbit holes where they get triggered and mad and upset and throw hissy fits and bitch out.
Maybe so. If it is,
By the way, you know the thing I thought was hilarious about all of this is that the guy that paid $100 to get rid of me was an orthobro. He was an Orthodox Christian who paid to get rid of me because I was quote unquote a groomer when he follows a tradition that believes that the age of consent is 12 because that's what the Orthodox Church says.
what was his name? Do we know him?
John something. I don't remember his last name. It wasn't Zerka.
Don't know him. Or it's not sounding familiar.
John Kell. There we go. It was John Kell. So he was an Orthodox Christian who paid $100 to say I want to get rid of the groomer. Meanwhile, he follows a tradition that literally thinks that pedophilia is okay. That's actually in the canons of the Orthodox Church. The Orthodox Church is a pro-pedophile church.
Well, this is an entertainment channel, folks. That's the bold claim. So I'll let the orthos figure that out. Oh, look, we got Mr. AxisRattblood coming on too. Hi there.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Oh, just chilling and another wild night in the panelverse. It sounds like.
Yeah, I was noticing it was kind of.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I just wanted to say I was listening to the conversation and enjoying it, enjoying the sanctity of your channel. I do that quite a bit actually. When it all becomes more than I can tolerate, or I've endeavored enough, I'll just come here and relax, listen to you, man. Yeah, I wanted to let you know that if you didn't have any objections to it, your take on mental illness and you're addressing certain psychological situations with people, man. I'd like to support that with my channel. So if you don't have a problem with the content of my channel, I'll probably put a link to your channel there.
No, not at all. I love collaborating and cross streaming and restreaming and all that stuff. I encourage it. I think it helps to grow the community.
Right, and I like what you got to offer here, definitely, because this is where I come to find a little bit of solace.
Oh,
and my channel's a little more well, it's a lot. I'm edgy. A lot of people don't relate to the depth and the broad spectrum, but I don't want to, kind of draw the wrong attention to you either. I want people to appreciate what you have to offer here, because to me it's valuable.
I don't know what to say. Well, that's very thoughtful, and yeah, I don't have a problem at all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't want.
I encourage everyone to tell their friends and share with the community, and vice versa. In fact, I'm going to put your channel. All right, this is Mr. AxisRattblood's channel. Truth or Gone Gay. Secret homosexual code. Gay speak. Ooh, I'm going to have to watch that one. Let's see.
Yeah, that was, they're probably not what you think they are, but they're very humorous, and it's a take on heterosexuals showing their extremely feminine and homosexual sides without them even being aware that it's happening, and I put it to music.
I love your thumbnails.
Yeah, I've been doing doing a lot of live streaming, and then I kind of went down for a bit. And I did one the other day. It turned out to be a really nice stream.
Well, what's been going on? How are you?
Man, Jeff, my life is probably not the general type of life that you would expect for someone that did the content that I do. But I've got a son who's facing some serious charges, and it's not looking positive. So that's affected my mental outlook on things. I've been trying to keep my channel at least present, and that's been a challenge. And my health is kind of kicked a little bit of a downward spiral. So they upped my in-home health care, and just the general state of things and the conditioning that we keep finding ourselves subjected to is just starting to become taxing. And finding places of solace or even people that have halfway decent conversation to offer is such a rarity. And that's why I find such appreciation for coming here, is because at least I know it's a genuine conversation. And at least I know there's going to be something genuine and almost human about what's coming across, more so than a narcissistic point of view of their channel or their ideals or their preconceived notions or speculations. Pretty solid. And right now, that's something that I definitely need, is that grounding and that sense of real, something being real.
Wow. Well, I relate to that for sure. That's what I look for. I never know what's going to happen here, actually, but I guess real, we cover a lot of it.
Yeah, I've noticed that,
I don't have a lot of patience or tolerance for pretension. I just don't have a lot of use for it. So I tend to not have a lot of it around me when I notice it.
Right. I sometimes I come on and I'll sit in the background and listen because I can relax. There's not a lot of spontaneous outbursts, and there's not a lot of. Well, with certain panels, I mean, there are certain ones that come up on the panel that I'll know that it's probably best that maybe I do something a little more distracting. But as far as a relative, something I can relate to, yeah, Jeff, you've got a good thing going here, and I think that it's a shame that more people aren't involved in interacting with what you have to offer as a service for a channel. I think people are overlooking that because you're providing a service that some people go out and pay incredible amounts of money to a therapist for, and you are totally patient and within presentation of yourself to sit and deal with some of the things that I've seen you deal with in some of the situations. And I was like, wow, it's interesting watching how you interact with some of the more abstract situations because of the calmness. It's rare.
Wow. Well, what other channels have you found that kind of give you that? Are there others out there?
Well, I go to We Are Awake News. Ian go way back, so he's always going to have.
Who is that?
We Are Awake News.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that Ian?
Yeah, Ian.
Okay, yeah. I watch his panel every now and then. I like the way he moderates.
Yeah, I've been with We Are Awake News for 3 years now. I mean, me and Ian, yeah, we communicated on a personal level for a couple of years, and I've stuck beside him through thick and thin, and I won't. I just he's become that much of a friend in my life, and throughout the last past 3 years that I find not only his demeanor, his approach, but the way that he handles his channel now is, yeah, it's peaceful, and he keeps it that way. And I like that. I like that mood, that feeling of forward movement, especially cerebrally, without the antagonistic approach. You
Yeah,
offer
there's
that.
an art to managing that, and I'm still trying to learn it. I know what you're talking about, though. There's definitely two. There's a qualitative difference between some of the conversations and others, and
I
I'm
think
trying to
you're
figure
doing
out how
quite
more
well,
of the
man.
first kind. Huh?
I think you're doing quite well, Jeff.
Well, I even get sucked into drama too myself sometimes because I'm a drama junkie too, or I can be.
I've only seen you interact in a speakable way, and I can say that when I first started my channel and doing live streams, I would get drawn into some of the muck and the mire and get caught up in it.
Mhm.
And now my message is pretty prevalent. Remove your safety protocols, loose all boundaries, broaden your horizons and your state of mind and perspective, and move forward. Advance yourself, to know yourself, to know who you are, what you are, to know where you're at and your environment, your localized environment. At least be conscious and aware of how you're affecting people and how people have an effect on you. And that really took a lot of my personal perspective away from it, because I can now let people kind of hang themselves with their own words, and I don't have to say anything. And that was a very useful tool to me.
Yeah, it is. I use that one too.
Yeah. So, and I've noticed every time I find myself, especially like this time of the night, when other channels are propagating whatever it is that they're trying to get across, which some of it seems non-point whatsoever. I like coming here, man. You just a soul. It's just an atmosphere. Certain channels have an atmosphere that I enjoy, and
Yeah,
you're definitely one of them. Ian has always been one of them. Abman, I've
who's the other
listened to
one?
him.
What's his name?
His last name is Abman. He has a small channel, and he's been around for a very long time. And he's just now started developing where he's delivering some really heavy content. And his interactions, he's present at certain channels and places, and that's awesome because he has so much to contribute. But he's just got to give a little more confidence to him. But his content is awesome.
How do I find him? What do I type in?
It should just be ADMAN. If not, I'll send you the link.
Mr. Adman?
No, AB.
Ab, like
Yeah.
Abman. Okay.
Yeah, AB.
Abman. Is he like a little cartoon avatar?
Yeah, blue with colored eyes.
Dungeons and Dragons. Oh wait. Is
Hold
it
on.
like really nerdy? This is Minecraft.
Oh no. Let me get in here and.
Oh, is he one with the shades?
Get me the link. That way I know you're here.
Oh, there's a lot of admin. A whole lot, actually.
I didn't know that. But we'll find out. But yeah, he started out about the same time I did several years ago. And if he could get his confidence up, I think he has. He comes from the school of we are awake, which
What
is
would
where I
help?
come
And like,
from.
would coming on some other panels and just chatting casually help?
See, I think it would. I really do. Um, as long as he wasn't approached in a negative way until he gets his confidence up to handle such things.
Oh, well, this is kind of the put them in the deep end and they either drown or they swim. This is like the trial by fire. But I
Right.
mean, he's always welcome to drop in and he could try it. If the right people are on, it might help.
Yeah, I'm sending you, getting this link right now. And, link.
Can't believe it's only 9:30. Oh my God, this
Yeah,
night is dragging on forever.
Okay, just do maybe ABMAN 136.
136.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got white shades on, and his avatar is a purple him.
Okay, yeah, I think I found him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
he had the picture. Okay.
Yeah, I support his channel quite a
Well, I'm gonna
bit
subscribe and check him out.
because he tries to stay on the informative edge of things like technology and how it affects us and frequencies and various things that we're subjected to as a society that we may not be aware of that's happening. He just I hate the word truther. I really do. And I hate the concept that comes with that now. But he's informative. How's that?
What is truther now? It started as the 9/11 thing, but now it's like any conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it used to be when I first started out years ago, and I seen what was developing with social media. I left the MIRC and the groups and the all the peer-to-peer stuff behind, and kind of found that left-wing fringe of information that you just couldn't find anywhere unless you were talking to like-minded people in real life. And it was people who had different theories or potentially some leaked information or something that was conspiratorial in a way or against the grain of what society was offering up. And you tried to make relevant situations that you knew were bullshit situations, or like Area 51, or what DARPA was up to, or even as far as politics, or the back before child exploitation was brought to the forefront. That was a big thing that was covered back in those days. Is we knew it was happening, we just didn't know where to expose it. We could
Was
see the
Pizzagate
traces.
part of that? Was that?
That was after. There was a big movement prior to that, and even prior to Q. I don't know if you were around for the Q thing.
Is that QAnon?
QAnon, yeah, before
I remember that
QAnon.
from the Trump years.
Yeah, even before that, there was those of us who was kind of speculating that there was a lot more going on than, and that was through social services, family services, because of the amount of displaced, misplaced, and disappearance of children that are supposed to be a part of a government system for the protection and betterment of children. And it seemed that they were losing numbers that were escalating into the thousands. And I was like, whoa, hold on, something ain't right here. You're not a child protective service if you're losing children, or they're unaccounted for, or you're snatching children and you're placing them from good households into households that seem to be extremely abusive, and you're justifying this. So we had speculation at that point in time that there was a lot more going on than what met the eye. And it turns out years later that, yeah, you can look at Epstein, you can look at the that newest guy, I can't think of his name. He's some rapper dude. He just got caught up in a bunch of, child trafficking. You can see the border now, and you can see the trafficking that was taking place there. So we were on it. We just couldn't prove it. So we would, those are the type of things that we would kind of endeavor.
It says that the dictionary says it's someone who believes that the government or another powerful agency is conspiring to conceal the truth about its role in an event, such as an assassination, act of terrorism, 9/11, etc.
Partially, I can agree with that, just to keep myself safe and kind of off the radar. But I would more so be weighing towards that than most anything. That we as just general population, I personally feel that we're just looked at as numbers and cattle. I don't think that we're looked at as a valued species. I don't think that even on an individual basis that we're valued as life beings.
Who though? Because to me that would depend on each person would value that differently. But that there are plenty of people out there that don't see people that way. And
I'm talking government.
Oh, well, even then though, like even take Congress. How do you know how any one person in Congress sees the people? Like they're all going to have
exactly. Only by the outcome of unanimous vote do we get to see anything from them. On an individual, you would have to watch whatever, if they were going to address, the in a meeting, a Capitol meeting, or the House, or then you might get a personal perspective. Or if they have.
So you're saying like all you have to go up is the votes, and then so you have to try to speculate why the votes went the way they did.
Yeah, and you can also, kind of look through the individual's history for what he stands for, what he stood for, the the things that he said he stood for, but completely went the opposite way, and the consistency of the person, and whether you can depend on them
that is
to
all
follow
good
through.
things to do in a democracy.
Yeah, I think it is, but anymore it's looked at as you're kind of taking that government apart, and you're trying to break it down into a conspiratorial state that maybe people don't have the best agenda in mind for us. Kind of like what they did.
I just think the government's so big, they're not. It's not unified. That what part of the government is like that? Do they think the entire government everywhere is like that? That doesn't seem.
I think there's a hierarchy, a core of individuals, whether it be the United Nations or a world council, like what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah, but I don't take them seriously. I don't think they have the power people think they have. I don't think we listen to them as a country.
No, I think they have the influence and the money. I don't think they have the necessary.
Oh, so they use they try to use soft power to get their agenda.
Whether it be kind of the Bolshevik type tactics, or rules for radicals, or whether it's kind of like what they did with the whole Biden-Trump thing, which I don't buy either side. Sorry, I'm not interested. That's puppeteering to me. I would like to think that we were a smarter species than to buy into such an arena, but unfortunately, it's been my observation that the general class majority, they buy right into it, man. They believe whatever that box tells them to believe, or they'll believe whatever party that tells them to believe something, and they'll believe it. Or that even goes to religion. I mean, some people live their life by what their church says, whether it's right or wrong. That's just as far as they're going to go with their attitude.
Yeah, I think that's most people. Like most people I know, honestly, they don't even think about that. Like they don't even think about it at that level. But the ones that do are gonna go with whatever their tribe is doing, like whatever's going on, whatever the people around them are doing. There's some like common narrative that's keeping them all together, so they're gonna just go off of that unless they have a reason to really start to criticize it.
Yeah,
And
and
that
it goes
that's the
with
people that think about it at all. I think most people are not even thinking about it at that level.
exactly, exactly. And those of us that did venture into it and do kind of skirt the edge of society on that manner, we're considered conspiratorial. We're considered
Well,
fringe and potential radicals and potential diseases to what the government would be considering an upstanding citizen.
I don't care what the government thinks an upstanding citizen. The government's there to make laws and enforce laws. I don't care what its opinion of me is. But
Right.
y'all are what you said about questing and searching and trying to figure out and think around the edges and stuff, that's all great, but some of the conclusions that I've seen them come up with do seem like conspiracies to me, and I think that's where the reputation comes from.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying everybody hit the mark because that was definitely distorted and subversed by the QAnon movement. I mean, people who bought into the QAnon movement were living off of this next post and whatever it had to say.
Oh, right. They would have that guy that would put out those little coded updates, and then they would have
Right.
to. Yes. Oh God.
And that took a whole spectrum of people that at one time probably would have been open-minded people and would have been susceptible to thinking outside of the box and disillusioned them. Either they became hard-seated in conspiracy or they were like, everything's a bullshit now that I hear that concerns conspiracy because of QAnon. It was one of the greatest ploys of subversion that I've seen for thinking outside of the box.
QAnon was?
I believe so, yeah. I think
like
that,
saying how far you could take it.
I think once
out of
they
the box.
disproved QAnon as being a reliable source of information and they discredited QAnon, that there was a complete breed of humans that were just disillusioned with that whole concept of conspiratorial or thinking outside the box. They were just like,
Did
it's all
they
bullshit.
ever find the guy that was QAnon?
Not that I know of, no.
Oh my God, I'm looking at their flag. It's like pink and blue. Why did they pick this flag? Here, let me show it. Is this the QAnon flag? It looks. If I saw that, I would not think QAnon. I would think
that's
the
one of the
alphabet
flags.
people. Oh wow.
Yeah, and those guys are top tier terrorists now. They not only does YouTube remove them, ban them, shut down their channels, but YouTube really discourages communication about it unless it's
Oh, is my channel at risk even?
No, not for what we're saying. No,
all right,
because we're looking at them as what they are. It was a conspiratorial. Man, how do I? It was I'm trying to think of the best way to put this so that it makes the most cohesive sense. It was a kind of a ploy to draw out those type of people that would think outside of the box in that manner, expose them, and then
like a
discredit
psyop.
them. Yeah, and then completely discredit them. And that's exactly what happened, because anybody that was involved in that, and you remember the spectacle that was made over one individual at the Capitol incident, you know, the QAnon shaman or whatever he was supposed to be. I mean, you know, they integrated that immediately in with dissident and disorder and basically terrorism.
What incident was that?
The Capitol incident.
The J6?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
I don't think we're ever going to resolve that one by now.
No, but it was overshadowed heavily by the Q thing.
Oh, I didn't know. Like, so some, like, you're saying some of the protesters were QAnoners?
Oh my God, yeah, man.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, you had the whole task force of Q supporters, and the Q shaman was there, and he was all dressed up, and he even went into the Capitol,
shaman.
you know.
But the shaman was QAnon. Okay, yeah, I remember
He
him.
was
I didn't know.
there, and
I thought he was like an outlier. I didn't know a lot of the group was like him.
yeah, there was still a lot of people that were on board with that whole idea and train of thinking.
Oh,
until
so it was
after
like it was
J6.
conspiracy theorists at the Capitol then that thought they were stopping some conspiracy.
A lot of them.
Like Pizzagate.
Yeah. Same concept.
Okay. Well, that makes me like even more sympathetic to them if they were manipulated through social media to think that
they were. You know,
because a lot of them, I think the impression I got from just watching was that a lot of them were very sincere in their belief that there was something going on and they had the potential to stop it.
I think that was
like I don't think they were there to just rant and rave and cause trouble. I think they a lot of them were there because they thought something was going on, and they thought that because they were getting that from somewhere.
Well, they felt discredited. They felt that, you know, in that particular point in time, which, you know, who was involved, Trump, he didn't do anything to detour.
Well, didn't he tell them to go home or protest? He put out a tweet or something saying protest peacefully, and
yeah, and he was supposed to have showed up there. He was supposed to have showed up at the Capitol, and he told everyone to protest peacefully. And apparently, that's what
it's getting tied
originally.
to him. Like they were his minions. He instigated. Like he told him, he gave him the signal to go raid the thing. But that's the part I never.
Yeah, he
satisfactory
yeah.
to me. Because what I saw was Trump. Like at some point, the light bulb went off in his head. He's like, "Oh, I got to get this under control," and he told him to be peaceful. Even if he didn't mean it, he at least said it to him so that it would.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to have showed up there.
And he didn't because he saw the emotion.
Exactly.
And he
but
told
that had been pre-instigated by the.
So to me, it looked like he was trying to like he saw the potential, because Trump more than anybody would know those kind of situations and where they could lead, because that's the energy that he works with as a crowd master. And so when he saw that and saw the point it was getting, if he's like, oh, I better tell him to be peaceful, that to me was him trying to keep it from escalating.
Well, the thing is he said we will march down there peacefully and protest peacefully. So he knew precognitively that
and the
for everyone to go there peacefully.
And so is the narrative that was like code and he didn't really mean peacefully, and his followers knew that he didn't mean peacefully?
That would be speculation on my part. I don't know.
So hard to show. Like anybody can make up a story like that. You can't. It's unfalsifiable unless they have evidence of what was in their heads.
But the fact is that, you know, prior to this happening, there was this massive QAnon psyop that was taking place that was instructing the general public and those that supported what they called the white hats and Trump, that things were happening that obviously and apparently were not happening. and were not going to happen.
Because they see shit on social media and they don't know how to like interpret it critically. I see this all the time on here. People react to things they see on social media that they think are happening, and they don't critically evaluate the source, the context, the sense, the validity, the internal consistency, any of that.
Right. Right. And that's even went so far over into just the social aspect of what they offer as platforms now, because people will start almost cults of personality, and they will start generating cults of personality, and you can't like this channel and you can't like this channel, and if you do, don't come to my channel, or we've got a beef, so everybody you know is my enemy now. And it's like, what? You know, are we back in school again, or is this a new QAnon movement?
Oh, because is that how QAnon was with each other?
Yeah, if you weren't part of the white hats and the resistance, and you weren't in with the whole QAnon approach to things, then you were an outlier. You were on their side, or you were just a mindless sheep roaming around in America.
God, if somebody told me that, I would be relieved to not be involved in their group anymore.
You know, and but it come across that powerful, and that's how, you know, that's how it impacted, because I kept, you know, I've got video footage that I downloaded from the beginning all the way up until the events that transpired even here recently, to document how socially manipulated people were just by media alone, to the point where it built an entire classification of American citizens that are deemed terrorists now.
Well, but they went through a trial and had evidence and stuff, and so it wasn't just like we saw you at the Capitol that day. Here's what we think happened. They had more than that to go on with the individuals that got convicted.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them they just had
because there were
some
groups. I don't think it was the majority of the protest, but there were some groups there with specific intentions that were coordinated ahead of time.
That's what they said. You know, they tried to say that the Proud Boys were one of those. I don't know the groups. I don't know.
Yeah, Flo used to be a Proud Boy, and I've talked to him about this a little bit. And I don't think it was just Proud Boys in general, because I think even the Proud Boys were maybe not all completely in on it, but I think certain individuals, they had enough evidence on that they were more involved than just the average person in trying to make something happen.
Right, and I think they found that there was FBI infiltration influence behind that too. That they had a couple of FBI plants in the Proud Boys that were helping to generate that.
Well, I mean, that's possible if they had reason to suspect that there was a conspiracy to.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not.
I would have plants in there too.
You know, that's with any government. I mean, anytime you see any type of sedition or potential resistance, naturally, as a government, you're going to investigate. That can be expected. You know, that's why we have the CIA, the FBI, and, you know, Secret Service, is to be able to kind of weed this out. But even that, in present day, I think has gotten skewed. The lines are skewed. But that's just my perspective, you know.
That's all we have. That's all
I know.
have. And that's why it's so hard to find out what's real anymore.
Well, that's why I only, you know, I definitely, in all of my live streams, heavily state, you know, if you can't prove it as fact, then it's not. It's speculation.
That works for me. That's pretty much been the standard most of my life, and somehow it got slackened when the new social media wave came in.
Yeah, because if you can't prove it, and I can't mathematically come up with a proper equation that comes to a derivative that makes sense, then it's speculation.
Yeah.
And I can't live my life by speculation, because that's not going to feed me. That's not going to help my mind be healthy. You know, that's going to probably send me into delusional states of believing what you believe, and what you believe has no foundation because you can't prove it. So I'm better off by myself with things that I can solidify.
And probably things you have more things you have control over than all the stuff that you see on the internet that no one can control.
Exactly. And that's
Even
how I
if it is
conduct my channel. Definitely. You know, and I definitely promote factual information.
well,
You know, if it's,
I try to as well. I think that's good for. I think promoting fact, because we're going to need fact is the starting point, but we at least have to promote that there is such a thing as fact, and we can more or less in most cases agree at a minimum with. I mean, courts go through this all the time. You have to establish the facts of a case and show evidence that this is a fact, that this is why the judge should rule this way, etc. So this is not anything new. We just need to get better at ordinary people doing it.
more, people with a lot more self-integrity and a kind of a non-biased look at situations, maybe even a disassociated observation of certain things. Because the minute you apply an energy to it that you want it to go one way or another, then you've committed yourself to that. And as long as you stay open to the balance of fact, then don't apply anything to it, observe it for what it is, and then deduct from there.
That's really hard for a lot of people to do, I think, and I don't know why, but it seems like they have to have some kind of story version to, even if they don't know if it's true, they need a story there as a placeholder so they can go like move forward. And me, I can just let a blank space be there until I know for sure.
Right. I think that's a good social skill. I think that's a good practical skill for living. Is you're not always going to get the answers, so don't put one there.
And scientists know this. Like scientists don't. They're like the people most on the planet that know how much you're not going to know stuff, and have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So science is not all about knowing. It's more about all the stuff we don't know and how much we do know about the stuff we think we know.
Right. I think
and all we have to do really is get people to stop falling for Pizzagate and crazy stuff like that and going out and doing something in the real world based on false beliefs. So if we could at least get them to stop falling for extreme conspiracies.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying with such as, you know, the whole Q movement and what they're doing with, you know, this cult of personality with Trump is you're guiding.
Oh, is Q part of that? Like, is that where some of the Q people went to the Trump train? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then it's not even about Q. These are people that need something there, whether it's Q or Trump or something. There's something that's filling in their life.
Absolutely. And that's just it. And a lot of people took social media because that was what was offered, and that's what became the norm, accepted norm, and they brought their disease to it.
And they're not getting it from their real lives either, their communities.
Exactly.
And locked down on COVID during COVID for a year.
And subjected to what? Social media.
Yeah.
So you're dead on it. And that's where I had to draw the line and make the difference with myself and go, okay, this is fact, this is not. And this is good for my mental health and this is not. Because this leads to, you know, idealism and flights of fancy, but this right here, this is cut in stone, and that's just the way it is.
I think that, yeah. I think a lot of people are trying to do that the best they can. And
Well, I noticed you
with
do.
that being the case, we're ending up to some wild theories, but I don't think that it's coming from I don't think it's come from a bad place, and I don't think it's in bad faith.
No, I watch you stay within the realms of practicality. I stay, or at least try to stay within the realms of practicality. Channels that I directly associate with or will go on panel, I prefer that they deal with practicality, or at least something that can be equated to be factual. You know, that's the places that I feel more comfortable and secure spending my time with social media, as opposed to flights of fancies and philosophies and potentials.
Well, I think it's good that that YouTube can offer all those different types for different people. I wish we had more variety and more of the different types.
Well, that's why I wanted to check with you before I started promoting your channel for mine, is because I do delve into the occult, and I do delve into very fringe things that aren't speculatory, but they're observing. You can observe them, you can apply them, you can determine for yourself, but I can only give you reference to life skills. I cannot give you life skills. You have to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
But I can point you in abstract directions if you're looking for abstract information. You want to know how to summon the demon.
Yes, I do. I want to know how to summon an incubus.
I have a video on that.
Summon an incubus, and I want to know how to do a sigil to grow my
I've got
stream.
that on there too. In my live, I did a complete live on how to summon the demon.
Let me
you know,
check out. This channel might have become more valuable than I realized.
Oh yeah, we cover some serious.
Is it on the lives or on one of the videos?
Lives, most of the lives. The one for summoning a demon is titled how
Let me just do a search.
How to summon the demon.
How to summon a demon with rat blood. Look at this.
Yep. And I go through it step by step.
I'm so excited. I'll probably watch this tonight. Wow. Okay. And then I want to find. You said you had something with sigils?
Yeah, that's chalked all through my live streams because I work with energy, and I know that sigils contain residual energy within their geometric structure. Also, words, toroidal fields, vibrations, and frequencies, things that are measurable.
Because Hank told me that if I create the right sigil, that could draw some entity or being or the right energy to help with the stream as well.
Yeah, it's the same as repeating a word over and over. I mean, there's a toroidal field that comes from the mouth, a vibration, a frequency, whenever you say someone's name. Well, you repeat that name, you're repeating that frequency and that vibration. With a sigil, that energy and that vibration is contained within the geometry of that sigil, and that is the energy it possesses and resonates. Psionic.
I think I caught that, more or less. I used to play with that when I was in the occult, when I was younger.
Yeah, we cover a lot of me and Dominique. Dominique's a very intelligent man.
Is that Dominique Tersigny?
Yeah.
Somebody, yeah, okay. I think he's been on a few times too.
He co-hosts with me quite a bit.
Oh, okay. He hangs out here. I see him in the comments.
Yeah, he's a pretty profound individual when you start, working with him and talking to him, and he gets a little passionate, but outside of that, his words are solid, and he does deal with the practical, and he does deal with metaphysics heavily. And me and him just wound up vibrating on the right resonance, and we started doing shows together. Lots of I will say, and I'll contribute it to him, is good response, good feedback, good comment, always for the number that shows up, I get good response. And on personal level feedback, I always get questions. People, are interested in certain things. And there's so much diversity thrown around out there that has no fact-based evidence to it, that people can get lost really easy.
Yes, can and do and are. But we do what we can. I think it's kind of always been that way. We're just noticing it more now that we have this social media.
More prevalent, yeah.
Together.
Yeah. So there's practicality even to me, being on panel here with you is, if I see something that is beneficial and has the properties of being beneficial to someone, then that's like, if I don't share it, it's withholding medicine. And for a lot of people, there is really no niche for them to mold into without either being attacked or love bombed or a part of the cult of personality. And when I come here and my engagements with you and talking to you and interactions, I've seen forward progression and, this channel and myself dealing with you. And I'm like, okay, this is positive. This has a positive aspect I'd like to share.
I'm certainly trying to be, but you make a great point, because I've started to notice that too. I just didn't have the language for it that you just put it in. Can you say those words again? Love bombing.
Well, you get ostracized or antagonized, or you get love bombed, or the cult of personality tries to take you instead of just being a part of a expressive social group with broader dynamics.
So you saying like each panel work, because I noticed there are group dynamics, and when I go on other panels, they're all different. Although there does seem to be some common patterns to them around gender, but I can't ever figure out what they are, and so I get tripped up every time because of this stuff that you're saying right here. I've been noticing that too. That's part of these group dynamics. This cult of personality, ostracism, scapegoating, the drama triangle, the love bombing.
Exactly. And these are non-tangible, infactual forms of communication that are off the cuff.
Yeah, say that again. Non-tangible.
Woo! They'll have to hit repeat on that one. That was just a lucky verbular.
I'll go back and get it from the stream, but this is good stuff. I'm writing it down. That's why.
But I'm going to promote.
This is all the stuff I notice. I just don't know how to describe it or what to do about any of it.
Well, maybe this is a positive synchronicity.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'd like to think so, because I don't just generally jump on panels. A lot of people can't handle the real, because they're so caught up in the speculatory or the emotional aspect of their perception that they can't see the factual reality or the facade.
Yeah, that is hard, because they got that story going. Like the facts only have meaning to the extent that they can fit it into their story and make sense of it. And when they can't do that, that's where that resistance, like the facts become threatening at that point. They don't become just facts.
Right. Right. And I do my best to avoid that. And I notice that seems to be an aspect that you take with your platform. That's why I really appreciate it. I don't just stop by and say, hi, I'm checking on you or dropping in or something, just, score some brownie points with Jeff. No, I actually watch your channel and pay attention.
Oh, wow. Well, I've always enjoyed our chat, so I'm glad you stopped by. I think I am going to start to wrap it up soon. I'm finally feeling like winding down.
Good. And I think this is positive. I think it was a good interaction, and I appreciate the time you let me up here and the time we spend together being able to
I mean,
communicate.
you're always welcome to drop in. It's definitely a drop in. I welcome anybody to come up whenever they want. Well, most people do. I do have a little short list.
Yeah.
But you're not on it. Don't worry.
Well, I try to conduct myself accordingly, but sometimes it's best that I just avoid certain platforms altogether because no matter what approach.
I'm learning to do the same thing, and I think that is the healthy way to go.
Yes, absolutely. Anyhow, Jeff, you have a good evening. Get you some good sleep and rest, and thank you for allowing me up here. Thank you for the time, and everybody that's hearing this or will hear it, keep it real, and all love, man.
Pleasant and productive.
I think we cut out there for a second.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed our conversation. I found it very pleasant and productive.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Hopefully we can get together again and throw some more information around. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Keep talking.
All right. You have a good evening, brother.
You too. Good evening to you, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have in me today. I have been paneling it up all evening. So I'll be back tomorrow at the usual time and we'll get it going again. There's all kind of plot lines, looks like, developing. We'll see what happens with it. Take care, everybody.